Burning Man, burning self, burning man gathers in the desert each year with a promise. 10 principles etched like commandments in dust. Radical inclusion, gifting, decommodification, radical self-reliance, radical self-expression, communal effort, civic responsibility, leaving no trace, participation, immediacy. 10 of them. Why 10? Because the ego never trusts one. One is too simple. 10 keeps you spinning, striving, managing. That's the ego's signature, complexity. In 2025, the desert itself answered back. Dust storms ripped through the encampments. Winds tore down the art. Heat pressed against fragile bodies. Lightning cracked over the playa. But these storms weren't interruptions. They were revelations. The desert was telling the truth. Dust to dust. Form to form. What begins in dust ends in dust. You can raise a temple of lights, paint it with radical expression, and still watch it vanish under one breath of wind. The principle that shouts the loudest is, leave no trace. Clean the playa. Erase the footprint. Dismantle the city. Burn the effigy. Pretend it never happened. But here's the crack in the mask. You didn't erase the trace of the self you carried in, the self you think you are. That trace still clings. You cannot wipe it away with dustpans and slogans. You didn't lose the trace of the dream figure. You only decorated it with feathers, sequins, and LED lights. How do you solve the problem when you are the problem? How do you leave no trace when the one leaving the trace is the illusion itself? Radical self-reliance, radical self-expression. Why so radical? Because without the constant drumbeat of self-invention, the figure collapses. The dream figure must be dressed up, shouted out, expressed, relied upon. Otherwise it vanishes. But vanishing is the truth. That's why the man must burn. But not because you hate him, not because you wish to destroy him. The effigy is only a reflection of the self you secretly despise. You build him high, crown him in wood, and set him aflame hoping to torch your own delusion. But you can't burn the false away by fire. Fire consumes wood, not illusions. Fire eats form, not belief. When the smoke clears, the trace remains, in the mind that believed in the need to burn. Small hinges swing big illusions. Small beliefs spin entire deserts. Believe you are a body and you will need 10 principles to keep that body meaningful. Believe you are a self apart from God, and you will build a city in the sand to prove it. Believe you are the dream figure, and you will stage a festival to rehearse your reality. But it is all rehearsal. The dust storms showed it. The wind ripped down the sets. The desert erased the script. The capstone isn't the man. The capstone is the belief that the dream figure is real. Remove that capstone and the pyramid falls. Stop trying to shore it up with art, dust, gifting, and effort. The desert doesn't lie. The dust storms didn't attack you. They revealed you. They laughed at your city and whispered, "You never left the dust." Burning Man is not in Nevada. Burning Man is in the mind. Everybody is an effigy. Every self-concept is tinder. And the only real burn is when the ego goes up in smoke. Not the wooden figure, but the belief in separation itself. That's the true festival. That's the only leaving no trace. When the self is gone, only God remains. So dance in the dust if you must. Build the effigy, paint the mask, craft the illusion. But know this, the desert has already told you the ending. Dust to dust, fire to fire, illusion to nothing. The man was never real, and neither were you. Only the dreamer remains, only love remains.